Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for another tech tip. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to make interactive assignments using Google Slides and Google Jamboard. So we're going to start off in Google Slides. I want my students to be working on PWIM today, or the Picture Word Induction Model. So I'm going to find an image for a prompt. So I'm going to go to Pixabay, a great royalty-free website to find some images, and I'm going to search under the sea. So if I scroll down, I'm going to look for an image that might be interesting to my students, and I think they would be interested in this one. There's a lot going on there. So I'm going to click free download, and yes, I'm not a robot. And select download. So it's now downloaded onto my device. I can go back to Google Slides and I'm going to insert that image. Oops, there it is. Select open, and I'm just going to resize this so it's a bit more on the side over here. There we go. Alright, so I have an image for my students to look at. Now I need some spaces for them to add their ideas. So I'm going to add some text boxes. I'm going to start up here. And I'm going to make sure that there's a border around the text box so the students know where to write. So I'm going to go over here to the border color and select a color, and I'm going to change the border weight to 3 so it stands out a bit more. And now I'm going to write the word nouns in this box. So this is where the students are going to include the nouns that they see in this picture. A bit too big there. And center. Okay, so now I have this one. I'm going to right click or Control C to copy that text box now, and Control V to paste. And I'm going to put another one down here. I'm going to write adjectives for this one. I'll stretch it out a bit. And again, Control C and Control V to copy and paste. And this last one's going to be verbs. So now my students have different spaces that they can write about the nouns that they see in this image, the adjectives that they could use to describe those nouns, and the verbs, things that might be happening in the picture. Now that you have the first page of your assignment created, you're going to create the second page so students have a slide to write complete sentences on. So I'm going to go over to the thumbnail of the slide on the left and right click and select duplicate slide. Now I have the exact same slide. I'm going to delete these bottom text boxes because I don't need those anymore. And I'm going to stretch this one out. And I will add the instructions, write in complete sentences about this image. So now I have this slide. Now I'm done making my assignments. I need to save both slides as images. So I'm going to select the first slide and go up to File, down to Download, and select JPEG. So it's now saved that slide as an image, and I'm going to repeat that with slide 2. File, Download, JPEG. So now I have 2 different images that I can use. The next thing you're going to do is go over to Jamboard. So if you go to Jamboard, it should look like this, and you can press the plus sign in the bottom to make a new jam. So I've already done that. I'm going to open it up. So Jamboard is basically an interactive whiteboard that students can draw on, they can add images, but the one thing that you don't want students having the ability to do is move all of your files around. So what we're going to do, now that we have downloaded that image, is set it as a background. So I'm going to go to Set Background and choose an image and browse from my files that I've already downloaded. And I have this one as the first, so I'm going to select Open. And now this is set as the background, so the students aren't able to accidentally delete one of the text boxes or the image here, so it's a lot easier for them to work with. When they're on this slide, all they have to do is either add the text box up in the nouns. They can write shark or whatever it is they're writing about. They can add a sticky note and type on top of a sticky note if you prefer them to do that. They just have to click cancel to close. Sticky notes can be dragged anywhere on the page. They can also add images if you want them searching for images to add. There's a pen, they can write on it, and of course an eraser. So this is what they're working on the first slide. On the second slide, you're going to go up here to the next frame. So you press the side arrow and it'll move you over here. Right now there's currently nothing, so we're going to set the background by going set background, selecting image, and again browsing for that next slide that we chose. Which is this one, and selecting open. Now they have a space to write incomplete sentences. They can go back and forth to review the words that they've selected to help them with their writing. But again, they're just going to go to text box, add a text box. They can stretch it out, and you can have them write as much as you'd like about this image. When you've completed making your Jamboard and you have all the slides that you want, you're going to want to assign this to your students. If you want them working on it independently, you can go to Google Classroom, select Create an Assignment, and we're going to add the jam. So I'm going to go to Add and search in Google Drive. And it should be right here. You can tell that orange Jamboard symbol, and select Insert. The really important thing you want to do is change it to students have a copy of their own. So make a copy for each student. Let's call it Demo Jam. So now when it's assigned, it's going to make a brand new copy of that jam for each student. So they're not going to be typing on top of each other's. They can't see each other's answers, and it's more like an independent task for them. And then you can assign it. Now if you go back into it when the students are working, it will be here once they've completed it, and you can open up and see exactly what they did on their own jam. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe to follow along for more tech tips. You can also find me on Twitter at MrsMcB_edu or on Instagram at TechWithMrsMcB. Happy creating!